Welcome back to another video on my 2016 Audi A8 4.0 liter. If you have not been following this series, I would recommend you watch the previous two episodes to see what is going on with this car. But in today's episode, we got the part that hopefully will get this car started and running well. This is the part I've been waiting on. It is the timing chain tensioner for this bank on the driver's side. I paid about $160 for this part. So without further ado, I'm going to get this installed into the car. Visibility on this thing for me to show you guys is very limited just because of where the timing chain is on this car. It's all the way back here, so I will have to do this stuff off of camera. I'll be leaving a couple of links down below to show you guys how to put this engine in time. I truly apologize for that. I wish I could show you guys all the steps that I am taking. Everything that I'm doing is just very difficult for me to show you because of where this was. If this timing chain was in front of the engine, which most normal cars are, this would be a lot easier for me to show you and it would make a lot more sense. But since that's not the case, I'm gonna go ahead and do this off camera. We got the tensioner in place. This is the best I can do to show you guys. So there's 1, 2, there is 3 bolts. So 1, 2, there's 3, 4 bolts. Now we're gonna put the intake and then the exhaust side because we want to take off all of the slack, and then we'll be ready to torque the adjusters after that. We have both of the tensioners installed. As you can see, this one lines up with the dot that is over here, or the window that is over here. Boom, right there. And then at the bottom there is another one. See if I can show you guys. If you can see, that is also in time. Look at the 2 windows. And if you look right here, both of our holes are lined up. So that's lined up perfectly. And down here, that's also lined up perfectly. They're tight. They were 90 Newton meters and 90 degrees angle. So we got that tight. Next steps would be to remove the valve cover, reseal the valve cover, put the valve cover back in place, and then put this front cover, reseal it, install this, install everything else back together on the car, prime it, make sure, you know, car's in time, spin it over a bunch of times, of course, and hopefully everything will be well. Okay, so now we gotta clean the surfaces really good. So I'm just gonna start by taking a paper towel and just dapping this on here, basically to just remove any big oil spills. Also, you want to make sure all of these are positioned correctly and none of them flipped over, because sometimes they do when you when you remove the cover. Sometimes they can move, so you want to look at that, make sure everything is good. What I'm going to be using next is some of the sealant remover. We're going to be spraying that into all of the surface, basically. So shake this up pretty good. You let this stuff sit on there for a little bit of time, and then you can scrape it off, and it comes off much easier. This basically just breaks down the rubber compound, and obviously you clean it very well before you install any of the new silicone. And of course, you want to repeat the same procedure for the valve cover. After some time passes, you could take a plastic razor like this and just start scraping away. And this stuff literally just comes out just like that. It makes it so much easier to remove. And you can go from a surface that looks like this. We went to this. So you can see a little bit of residue there. A little bit is okay as long as nothing touches the finger. All of that is cleaned with brake clean as well. And this is nothing. This is like, you don't feel any of this. It is basically just a little bit embedded. You can take a Scotch-Brite and go over that to clean it better. Now I put some assembly lube on the camshaft so that when I spin it, it doesn't spin dry. I put some here as well. We're gonna silicone this up and then we'll put it in the vehicle. I also installed this guide rail over here, which is for the timing chain. I'm going to put these bolts one by one and slowly tighten them to basically clamp the camshafts down in the back here because there's a lot of upward pressure because of the valves. So by doing it slowly, we slowly set the camshafts down. But I'm gonna just start all of them by hand. Okay, so now to tighten these, we're gonna start from the middle outwards. So we'll start with these two right here. And we'll move on to this one. Okay, so the torque spec is 8 Newton meters and then 90 degrees of turn. Eight Newton meters is all done. Now we're going to go ahead and do the angle. And after we do each one, we're going to mark it with the tire marker to make sure that we do not do them twice. And the reason why I put these marks on top, on the head, is so that when I spin them and they go to the 90 degrees, they'll be facing that way. So it's a good trick. So that's all torqued down. I'm going to go ahead and install the roller for the high pressure fuel pump. Roller side down, of course. I have made the mistake before of putting roller side up. It's not fun to get it out. You want to lower this slowly and then put the bolts in there and slowly tighten the bolts on each side until this sits on there perfectly, basically. With the triple square M10, install one side and the other, back over. Basically until it's tight. Then we can go ahead and install the hose. Let's get this thing Guten tight. It's good. And we'll put this clamp back where it should be. Little by little, it's starting to look like an engine again. Putting this rear cover here was not fun because there isn't a lot of space to maneuver. So what I had to do, I put silicone on both surfaces. I started by the engine and I put a very thin coat on the front cover and I got it positioned in there and I looked to see where I messed up some of the silicone and I reapplied there a little bit. And so now I can go ahead and tighten up this cover here. I'm gonna put all the bolts by hand first and then I'll go ahead and torque it to spec. The Audi is starting to come together. I know it's not the cleanest of jobs, but it's just very difficult to get there. But it should be sealed up perfectly. I got this bracket on there. The catalytic converter bolts are in as well on both sides. I have to install the oxygen sensor still and still got some installation to do here. I did spin the engine over a couple of times and the timing is dead center. I checked the other side as well, and it's still dead center. So I'm very happy. We should be good with this. Just got to continue with the installation process on both sides, and I might be able to hear this thing roar today. So I'm excited for it. I am draining the oil at the moment because the oil obviously mixed with coolant. So I want to get all of that out. So I started draining it from now. After I complete putting the engine back together up here, we'll go ahead and fill it with fresh fluid. Also fill it with coolant and change the oil filter. I have 2 oil filters, so I'll probably change them twice after a little bit of driving to make sure there's nothing that gets caught, that fell inside the engine, that gets caught by the filter. We want to get all of that stuff out of there. Almost everything is in apart from these inlet pipes, and also the oil still has to be added into the car. But I'm going to go ahead and pull vacuum on the cooling system using this tool. Basically use shop air here, and this pulls vacuum, and it eliminates most of the air bubbles that come when you open up the system. So I'm gonna start that and let that go for like 15-20 minutes, get a lot of the air bubbles out of there, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up with oil and also install everything else, any of the remaining small little things here. I still have not put the exhaust on at the bottom, but I want to start the car before I do all that, just in case I have to disassemble something again. Okay, this is the moment of truth. This thing is either going to make me very happy or very sad. I'm nervous, but let's see. Let's see if this thing works. It's going to be loud because I don't have any exhaust on, so. Okay, I just did that so I can prime it a little bit. It's running smooth. Check engine light is on from before, but the car is running smooth. No smoke from the tailpipes. Let's see when the RPMs drop, how it's going to run. Yeah, RPMs dropped. It's running smooth. No EPC light. We have 5,500 RPM. I think we're good. All it took was a tiny bit of adjustment on the adjuster that it had shifted. Usually that happens when the car is cold and you start it up and it can shift before it builds up pressure. So here we go. The engine is running smooth. No issues. I'm gonna check for leaks and all of that. Okay, it's been a few days since we did the repair. I just got a chance to finally wash the car. There's still some hazy marks and all of that. I just did a quick wash here. Car's looking absolutely beautiful, and I got my beauty bag there as well. So let's go take it for a road test. Let's get in here. Let's do a cold start, or semi-cold start actually. And we got reserve fuel and all of that good stuff. Okay, so far so good. Very short drive. I did drive it like this a little bit around the neighborhood here, and everything was good. So I don't want to beat on it too much until it warms up. No noises, no weird noises or anything like that so far. Get this thing into sport mode. All right. For the beans. This thing is quick. I'm also on E, so I can't drive it too far, but we'll just do a loop here. Woo, this thing is quick. Off the start, this thing is faster, quite a bit faster than my S-Class. And that's a twin turbo V12, but it's rear wheel drive. The quattro on this car is amazing. It definitely pulls like a demon. If you do some work to the engines on these things and transmission, if you get it just a regular tune, I would imagine this thing would be insanely fast, especially for daily driving. Definitely don't need anything crazier than this. All right, let's. Woo! Crazy. All right, well, that's fixed. I still got to do some maintenance to this car, so expect that in the next month or so. Expect another video on this car. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.